Good evening. My name is Suzette Ramos, and I'll be analyzing PepsiCo's statement of cash flow. PepsiCo's financial position highlights its status as a global leader in the food and beverage industry. According to its latest cash flow statement, the company generates strong operating cash flows fueled by robust net revenues from its extensive product portfolio. PepsiCo prioritizes strategic investments in innovation, sustainability, and global market expansion, while delivering consistent shareholder value through dividends and share repurchases. Despite challenges such as significant capital expenditures and debt management, the company demonstrates financial resilience, enabling it to achieve its operational objectives across various departments. Headquartered in Purchase, New York, PepsiCo was established in 1965 through the merger of Pepsi-Cola and Frito-Lay. Its diverse portfolio includes renowned brands like Pepsi, Lay's, Gatorade, Tropicana, Quaker, and Doritos. With operations in over 200 countries and territories, PepsiCo focused on sustainable growth by offering innovative products and fostering environmental stewardship, community engagement, and healthier lifestyles as a balancing portfolio with a commitment to global impact. PepsiCo's statement of cash flow provides insight into the company's cash generation and utilization across operating, investing, and financial activities. The breakdown of the major sources of cash in each section with examples based on its most recent financial statement. Starting with operating activities, represents PepsiCo's core business operation and the primary source of cash flow, being net income. The primary source of raising cash represents earnings from core business operations. In 2023, 9.155 billion, and in 2022, 8.978 billion. Depreciation and amortization are added back as non-cash expenses, reflecting significant contributions to operating cash flows. In 2023, 2.948 billion, and in 2022, 2.763 billion. Next, investing activities reflect cash spent or generated from long-term investments, property, plant, and equipment, PP&E, proceeds from sales of assets as PepsiCo generates cash from divesting underperforming or non-core assessments, boasting in cash. Revenues. In 2023, 198 billion, and in 2022, 251 billion. Investments in marketable securities. The company may sell short-term investments for liquidity. These proceeds contribute to its ability to fund strategic operations. In 2023, 75 billion, and in 2022, 49 billion. Lastly, financing activities involving raising and repaying capital, issuance of debt. PepsiCo raises substantial cash through the bonds or loans, often for expansion or capital expenditures. That was in 2023, 5.482 billion, and in 2022, 3.377 billion. Jumping to treasury stock reissuance. If applicable, reissuing treasury stock provides additional cash inflows without diluting shareholder equity. And in 2023, they were 116 billion, and in 2022, 138 billion. PepsiCo's statement of cash flow reveals significant cash outflows across operating, investing, and financing activities. These uses of cash are essential to sustaining operations, driving growth, and managing capital structure. Starting with operating activities, typically generate cash, but certain cash uses are essential. Increase in inventory. Cash is used to acquire raw materials and stock finished goods, reflecting PepsiCo's preparation to meet demand. In 2023, they were at 261 billion, and in 2022, 1.142 billion. Payment to suppliers and employees. A significant portion of cash is allocated to operating costs, such as wages, production costs, and administrative expenses. In 2023, they were at 420 billion, and in 2022, it was 1.842 billion. Next, investing activities often represent substantial outflows due to long-term strategic investments. Capital expenditures, PepsiCo invests heavily in property, plant, and equipment, PP&E, to enhance production capacity and operational efficiency. In 2023, they were at $5.518 billion, and in 2022, $5.207 billion. The acquisition of businesses or brands. Cash is frequently used to acquire companies or brands to expand product portfolios and market presence. In 2023, $314 billion, and in 2022 was $813 billion. Lastly, financing activities show how PepsiCo manages its capital structure, often leading to significant cash outflows. Debt repayments, PepsiCo uses cash to repay long-term and short-term borrowing, maintaining financial stability. So in 2023, they were at $3.005 billion, and in 2022, $2.458 billion. Dividends paid. The company consistently pays dividends to shareholders, which represent a significant recurring cash outflow and reflects its commitment to returning value to investors. In 2023, $6.682 billion, and in 2022, $6.172 billion. PepsiCo's statement of cash flow highlights key differences between net income and cash provided by operating activities. The primary cause of this difference is the adjustment for non-cash transaction and changes in working capital. Starting with major differences between net income and cash flow from operations, CFFO. Net income is calculated based on actual accounting principles, reflecting revenues earned and expenses incurred during the period, regardless of the actual cash transactions. Operating cash flow, on the other hand, adjusts net income to reflect cash transaction, providing a clearer picture of the company's liquidity. Next, depreciation and amortization. These are non-cash expenses deducted from revenue to calculate net income. However, since no actual cash is spent, they are added back to net income in the operating cash flow calculation. Next, changing in working capital. Accounts like inventory, accounts receivable, and accounts payable can significantly affect operating cash flow. For example, an increase in accounts receivable indicates revenue earned but not collected in cash, reducing cash flow from the operation. Reconciling items. Common reconciling items for PepsiCo include deferred taxes, stock-based compensation, and changes in accrued liabilities. These items are adjusted because they either do not involve cash or reflect timing differences between recognizing revenue expenses and actual cash flow. Lastly, importance of adjustment. These adjustments ensure that operating cash flow reflect the company's actual cash generating ability. Without these reconciliations, net income alone could mislead stakeholders about the company's liquidity and operational efficiency. PepsiCo's financial strengths are evident in its statement of cash flow, which highlights its ability to generate robust operating cash flow, effectively invest in growth opportunities, and maintain shareholder returns. These attributes suggest a strong financial foundation and provide a basis for anticipating continued success. First, operating activities. PepsiCo consistently generates substantial cash flow from operations, a critical measure of its ability to sustain operations and fund other activities. In 2023, the operating cash flow was bolstered by non-cash adjustments such as depreciation and favorable changes in working capital, including sufficient management of receivables and payables. However, this indicates strong cash generating capabilities even amid fluctuating market conditions. Next, investing activities. The company demonstrates prudent investment strategies by allocating cash towards capital expenditures, such as facility upgrades and new product innovations. While there are cash outflows in this section, they signal PepsiCo's commitment to long-term growth and operational efficiency. Additionally, cash inflows from divestitures supported the company's ability to streamline its portfolio. Lastly, financial activities. PepsiCo remains focused on returning value to shareholders through dividends and share repurchases. These consistent cash outflows indicate a stable financial position and a commitment to shareholder wealth maximization. Moreover, the company's ability to manage its debt repayments reflects sound financial health. PepsiCo's statement of cash flow reviews several potential financial weaknesses that could pose challenges if not addressed strategically. These weaknesses relate primarily to the company's high financing demands and certain investment outflows that require certain monitoring to ensure long-term sustainability. First, financing activities. PepsiCo's financing activities show significant cash outflows for share repurchases and dividend payments, which, while appealing to shareholders, can limit the company's financial flexibility. For instance, substantial outflows for dividends and buybacks reduce cash revenues that could otherwise be used for debt reduction or strategic investments. This reliance on debt to support these shareholder rewards may lead to heightened financial leverage, as suggested by the consistent cash flow outflows for debt servicing in 2023. However, excessive financial obligations can increase a company's vulnerability during economic downturns or periods of declining revenue. Next, investing activities. PepsiCo's significantly cash outflow for capital expenditures, although indicative of investment in growth, represent a potential risk if these investments do not yield the expected returns. The company's ability to generate significant returns from new product development and market expansion is critical to offset these outflows. Any delays or inefficiencies in achieving expected growth could strain cash flow further. In conclusion, PepsiCo's statement of cash flow highlights its strong operational cash generation, allowing the company to fund strategic investments and shareholder returns effectively. While the business demonstrates resilience through dividends, cash inflows, and disciplined reinvestments, it relies on financing activities and significant outflows for dividends and share buybacks, present potentially challenges to long-term financial flexibility. Overall, PepsiCo's financial performance indicates sustained success through balancing reinvestment and shareholder focuses expenditures will be critical for future growth. That will conclude my presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you and good night.